Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boys Mo and Lottie, and this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video. And we are living in a post-San Diego Comic-Con world. Huge bombs were dropped. Lots of interesting news, particularly from Marvel. And of course, we got the regular old news that's going on that we need to cover. It's been a couple weeks. You know, we took a hiatus for a week, but we are back and ready to talk about all this news. But before we do that, let's say hello to my good friend Lottie. Lottie, how you doing, man? And what you been up to that's nerdy?
I've been, besides watching, the new Deadpool movie, watching The House of Dragons, and playing NCAA, the new NCAA college football game. Can't wait for Black Myth FoodCon. Yeah, besides that, that's really it.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Black Myth is that already almost coming out?
It comes out next month.
Wow.
I mean, no, not the end of August.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I keep hearing about it. I just hadn't seen that it was coming out. So that's cool. Well, I've been, my God, watching. I just watched Lord of the Rings: Two Towers again with my daughter. She was not impressed, but it's all good. You know what? Everything's not for everybody. Beyond that, if you can believe it, I've been playing video games, Lottie. Playing actual video games. Yeah, I know, so cry. I was playing ukulele, which I've owned for years, and I finally got around to it. Why didn't anybody tell me this was an N64 type platform game? I would have been played this damn game. What?
Ukulele is pretty much the unofficial sequel that Microsoft will not allow to happen of Banjo-Kazooie.
I really love it. It's a fun game. So, and I have part 2, so I'm going to play that at some point. But yeah, been playing video games, watching, various nerd things that, was it Kite Man Hell Yeah, and among other things. So yeah, it's been a good time to be a nerd, especially because Comic-Con just happened over the last weekend. So much stuff came out of that. So we're going to get to that at the very end of our news. But before that, we've got a lot to cover. Lottie, we got some talk about the Batman 2. We find out who is succeeding Beau DeMayo on X-Men 97. Harley Quinn gets a season 5 premiere announcement. There's good news on the Ike Perlmutter front when it comes to Disney. Kevin Feige, he gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Superman wraps its principal photography. There's a new series that's going to be that was announced for a spinoff of The Boys. We get some first looks at Lex Luthor and Superboy for My Adventures with Superman. We talk about the box office for Deadpool and Wolverine. We got several trailers to talk about. Hellboy, The Crooked Man, Captain America, Brave New World, Joker 2, The Penguin, and Creature Commandos. Then we're going to talk about all of the Marvel news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, the next Avengers movies, who's going to direct and write those, and of course, the big announcement that set the internet on fire. Doctor Doom is coming to the MCU, played by a very familiar face. So, Lottie, tons to talk about. Let's just go ahead and jump into this, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to it. Lottie, some quick stuff, real quick stuff here. You can rest easy now, because apparently people thought that James Gunn was just canceling everything left and right because he disrespects Matt Reeves. He's canceled the Batman 2. Well, of course that's bullshit. Like, anybody that knows anything knows that that's bullshit. You don't cancel a franchise that makes $700+ million. I don't care what you say. So Matt Reeves has confirmed that early next year they will begin filming this movie. Lottie, surprised at all? Can you please tell these silly ass Snyder stands and haters to just stop with the bullshit? Thank you.
These same Snyder said the Batman sucks, so I
Anything to tear down James Gunn, obviously.
But I mean, I knew the movie was coming. It just sucks that it's taking this long for it to come out. I wish it would have came out a lot earlier. And I mean, not to come out. I wish they would have started filming a lot earlier because, like I said, the movie's great. It should have already been, I won't say should have, but I would have liked that they probably would have started filming either early this year or late last year. But, that means a 2026 release date probably going to be for this movie.
Right.
It's not too bad.
I mean, they did
already.
It's
always toward the end of 2024.
Well, they did have this little thing called the Penguin that they were making, and which is supposed to be leading into the Batman 2, by the way. And also, they've been developing, but even though it didn't come to fruition, the Arkham Asylum project. And Matt Reeves is, I don't know how deeply involved with it, but he is involved in Batman Cape Crusader. So, I mean, he got his finger in some pies, Batman related. So, not surprised by this, especially with the writer's strike. It probably would have started filming if the writers and actors strike hadn't gone on last year too. So again, not surprised, but happy to see this. We also got news about X-Men 97 that a lot of people wanted to hear, but also maybe aren't super happy about. The new showrunner for season 2 and 3 is a writer named Matthew Chauncey, who has previously worked on What If. And so he's going to be working with director Jake Castorena on season 2 and 3, but in particular 3, because I think Beau DeMayo did a decent amount of work on season 2, and they're working off of what he did there. So Lottie, I don't know if you had heard about this or saw what people were talking about it. It's not a universally loved move, and I think it's mainly because people are convinced that Beau DeMayo is essential to the goodness of this show. I don't know how you feel. How do you feel about this?
I mean, he definitely has a lot of he has some massive shoes to fill, but I mean, I won't say Beau DeMayo is he's the key and only key to make the show good, but we'll see how this guy does because X-Men 97, in my opinion, is the best adult animated. It's probably one of the best adult Marvel projects made in general, but definitely the best adult Marvel animated series that's ever been made.
Right.
And we'll see. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, now that he's gone, it's gonna suck. I'm more of like, let's see. Let's wait. I'm gonna wait and see before I even make any judgment.
Yeah. And it's not like this guy's a nobody. He worked on What If, which is a great show.
Yeah.
So like I feel confident. And also, like, this is, something also to know about X-Men 97. It did get nominated for an Emmy for Best Animated Series. And it is unfortunately going up against Blue Eye Samurai, which also got nominated. So I'm like, it should win, but also it's probably not going to win because Blue Eye Samurai is really good. Like, what? I mean,
I like Blue Eye Samurai. It ain't X-Men 97. I watched Blue Eye Samurai. It ain't X-Men. We will see.
I think I want X-Men 97 to win. I'm not sure. It's not an open and shut case. This isn't.
It's not going to win because it's a superhero. It's superhero. That's what's going to make it not win. But I've seen both shows, and I'm telling you, I didn't have as great of a time. Blue Eye Samurai is a great show. I'm not saying it's not. It's just if I had to pick between the two, I'll definitely take X-Men 97.
Yeah, I'm biased. I'm definitely biased in favor of X-Men. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that for later. So we also got some news about Harley Quinn season 5. We are currently watching Kaiman, hell yeah. But season 5 of Harley Quinn, surprisingly, Lottie, it's coming out in November. So like right on the heels of Kite Man, really, almost. Are you surprised about this? And are you looking forward to this 5th season?
Yes, because I feel like season 4 was almost like a filler arc. Am I wrong for saying that? It just didn't feel like what I'm used to from Harley Quinn TV show. And honestly, I'm not too surprised because this is usually what Harley Quinn does. Harley Quinn is just known to just be like, by the way, motherfucker, new season out. That's what they're just known for. It just seems like the last, like season 3 and season 4, just was like, yeah, bitches, we're out. What? Yeah.
They even dropped that Valentine's one. They're just like, hey, here's an episode. And I'm like, damn, y'all, okay, y'all made one out of nowhere. Cool, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is cool. I love that they're not waiting. I thought for real that they would wait until next year because of Kite Man, but it's good to see that they're keeping with it. I'll be curious to see if they're going to try to keep this train rolling or if they bring it to an end at season 5. Season 5 might be the last one, so we'll see. But very much looking forward to that in November. So Lottie, another quick bit of news. This is more of a big middle finger to a shitty person who, you remember, was it last year, early this year, late last year, we had that whole shit with the Disney board and Nelson Peltz, who's a racist and misogynist piece of shit billionaire, who, well, and I mentioned it at the time, but maybe I need to remind people, he wasn't doing that on his own. He was trying to get on the Disney board because wokeness and DEI and all other fucking stupid ass conservative buzzwords. He wanted to be a bulwark against it and make sure that everyone listened to his racist old ass. Well, but he was also being pushed up there by Ike Perlmutter, the former executive at Disney, former head of was it Marvel TV, former boss of Kevin Feige that almost had Kevin Feige quit before the MCU was properly going. So, an all around piece of shit. Well, in the wake of losing like a chump and losing badly, and his boy not getting elected to the board, he has recently sold all of his Disney shares, and to which I say good riddance to bad rubbish. Now, mind you, he made a good chunk of change off of that, because when I say he had a lot of stock, he had a lot of fucking stock, and he was putting it all behind Nelson Peltz. But he sold it off, so he is no longer in a position to at all influence Disney with his money. So Lottie, can we dance on this motherfucker's not his grave, but can we dance on his, whatever, his exit, please?
This was one of the weirdest times, because I remember even what's his name was talking about getting involved. What was the guy who owns Twitter?
Elon Musk. Elon.
Yeah, I remember Elon Musk was talking about it.
I'm calling him Elon Fuckboy because that's the way he acts. But anyway, you were saying
it was just one of those times where it was just I remember when I first heard about it, I was like, there might be nothing wrong with having another voice in the thing, and then all of a sudden that man said that dumb shit about Wakanda, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
this dude is stupid, because I didn't know anything about it. I was innocently didn't know who these people were. I just heard okay, maybe there might be some, there's nothing wrong with having a new voice or something, but then that whole thing what he was saying, bro, you sound stupid.
Yeah, it's this being anti-woke, it fucking rots your brain, but it's just old piece of crap. Again, Ike Perlmutter sucks. Remember, if you ever want to know, man, why are you so down on him? He literally almost made Kevin Feige quit Marvel before the MCU was really before Avengers. Keep that in mind. So fuck that guy. That is if that's not enough reason for you to say fuck that guy, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, fuck that guy. Glad he's gone. Let's move on to better things. Speaking of Kevin Feige, my man got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And actually, if you look, there's a picture there where a bunch of other, Marvel, actors that have been in Marvel movies were there with them, to get his Hollywood, star, which is really cool. Let me pour a little cold water on this fire though. It's not hard to get one. Like, you be a famous person and someone pay the money for it, and pretty much you'll get a star. So it's not hard to get one, but still, we all love Kevin Feige. He's done a lot for superhero films and everything. So I thought that was really cool. Lottie, how do you feel? How do you feel about this?
Makes sense. I mean, what the amount of stuff that Kevin Feige has done with the MCU, the man has made a lot of people famous and rich. So it makes sense that Kevin Feige will get, like you said, he'll get his own little what's it called, like, star. He's definitely will go down as one of the greater or greatest, movie director / producers in the business. So yeah, I mean, him, like, to be honest with you, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a star before.
I guess they were just like, you've made enough, you've made enough billions. All right, finally, your studio has made $30 billion at this point. I guess we can recognize you. I think it's just cool. But, one day, if we're ever in LA, we can walk down the street and see Kevin Feige's name on one of those stars. So that's cool. Good for him. So let's go across the street to not Disney, to DC. By the way, did you see the new logo that they premiered for DC Studios? Kind of a throwback. The old, DC with the stars, the little stars on the shield. I thought, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a throwback to like the one from the 70s, for the comics, but it just says DC Studios. It's really pretty cool. What James Gunn was talking, he's always on Threads and everything, but they wrapped principal photography for Superman officially a few days ago, which was really cool. So, like, we've been sort of looking, at the filming of this movie for a while, behind the scenes and everything like that. But everyone's done. They're ready to go into post and everything. Obviously, they'll probably do reshoots at some point. So they are well on schedule, actually, for a July release. Like, if they literally just finished filming and it's, about to be August, they've got something like 11 months to do post and reshoots and whatever. So it, quite an efficient, and apparently, according to all the people, a very good shoot. So Lottie, I mean, look, I'm excited for this. I love seeing stuff like this. Is the wrapping of filming and everything you've seen so far. How are you feeling about it? What's your thoughts about Superman from all of this?
I had to admit, James Gunn did a very good job of making people miss Superman. One of the things I've been talking about all week with people when we talk about movies of things coming back. Like, I just said, no, he's doing a good job of making everyone want to watch a Superman movie again. Because now, people have went from, I'm not interested in watching this James Gunn Superman movie to, like, I want to watch a Superman movie, because he hasn't shown he hasn't dropped anything yet. All he's done is show a picture. Some people, like, there's the few weirdos that are like, oh, he has the red. He looks weird with the red pants. Superman never wears red pants, and now everybody's like, yeah, you're a Snyder stan, aren't you? No, I'm not.
That actually reminds me.
That's not true.
That reminds me of seeing somebody posting on social media and getting fucking just straight dogpiled talking about how he's like, you should just make a different character. That's, you're making Superman soft. And I was like, and I wanted to chime in, but I didn't even get a chance because everyone fucking dogpiled him. Like the sheer misunderstanding, or whatever character they is that they like, it ain't the Superman that we know. And it's nice to see James Gunn's Superman is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about,
yeah.
when they show Superman saving the kids and everything, and people are like, "Yeah, I seen that." Like, and I looked at the comment section. People are like, they're like, one person said, I saw one person say Snyder stand alert, and one person says, "Yeah, you don't know Superman whatsoever."
We're
Just
gonna
shut up.
well, apparently I think we should start using the word weird, because people have you seen that? People, that's a thing now, to call people weird for like being weirdos. So like, you're being a fucking weirdo if you seriously think James Gunn is like, he's not, leaning into the way Superman is, and you prefer whatever that edgy bullshit, you're a weirdo. So just letting you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
but you were saying, like, I hear what you're saying. Like, people are getting back into it. Do you think that that's because of the kind of the times we're living in, like the times we're living in, and like the way, people are just like upset with each other and everything? Is this like the Superman that we want to see, or that we need to see?
It's both. I think we're living in an era where I think we need to start seeing like people that are good, that chose to be, that have just chose to be good people and heroes. This is why the Superman anime is doing so well. Why Invincible is doing so well. Why what's the call, just Studio Period's missing out on money. If they remade Naruto, a remake of Naruto would do so well because people want to see characters that are just good people. They want to see that. They want to see someone who embodies what it means to be a hero, what it means to be a good person. People want to see that now. And I just feel that it's going to play on something that has been missing for a while now. The last time we've seen that like super mega hero that was such a good person was Steve Rogers, and he hasn't had a movie in almost 10 years.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, just kind of the iconic hero. Yeah, I mean, I think that, just from the outside looking in, and also kind of understanding his sensibilities, we are definitely getting that. You'll believe that a man can fly. I'm rescuing cats from a tree and all that stuff. I can save the world, but also I have time to save this cat, like that sort of thing. And it's good. I'm really looking forward to the first trailer, but obviously we're probably not going to get that from many months. But I can't wait to see or hear more from James Gunn as they edit and really kind of start putting this thing together. And of course, we'll let you guys know all about it then. So, Lottie, one of the things coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, at the boys panel, and this was something that when it came across my feed, I was like, this is genius, but also I don't know how much I actually want to watch this. And you'll understand this when I kind of explain my misgivings. So it's a show called Vought Rising, and it's going to be a prequel to The Boys, and it's starring Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy and Aya Cash as Stormfront, or I forget what she used to be called, Lady Liberty or something like that. You remember from the her season, which I think it was season 2. She basically, Vought was basically a Nazi scientist that created Compound V, and she was the first successful test subject and the first, superhuman essentially. And then of course
actually gained almost pretty much immortality.
Yeah, but she couldn't, she doesn't age and all that other stuff. And Soldier Boy was the first American super soldier after he immigrated and everything like that. And so this whole show is supposed to be about Vought Industries in the 50s after World War II as it rises to become the behemoth that it is, in the current world of the boys. And so on one hand, I'm like, cool. I like the boys. I would love to see more content about the boys and everything like that. So I'm like, that's cool. On the other hand, it's a period piece in the 50s starring two straight up racist ass characters who have superpowers and are going to have the power to lord them over the people that they hate. And I'm sorry, I'm not super interested in watching, black people and other people of color be traumatized by these, basically Nazi symbols, if you will. The idea of the Nazi Übermensch that is, has all these superpowers and is going to subjugate the mongrel races. That does not sound like fun to me. So I'm kind of two minds. I'm of two minds on this one. Lottie, what are your thoughts?
I'm with you in the sense of I don't really like the thing about it is I don't really want to see a villain organization just pile drive everything in front of it. Right. You know what I mean? Like, because this is not like, for example, like this is not like a prequel of let's say, like I'm trying to think of a good example. Like not the Batman, but like just in general, like for example, Captain America. Like a prequel of Captain America, the First Avenger. There was somebody there that could stop what's going on. There's literally nothing stopping these people because we know what's her name? Grace. Grace was working with Vought. She worked for Vought. So there was literally nothing. Vought was just pile driving people, killing innocent people. There was nothing to stop them. There was no pre-Billy Butcher. There was no pre-Boys. It's just, I don't know if I want to see a show where the main characters of the show are literally invincible. And we know they don't get any character development of being better people. We just know they become shittier people.
Yeah.
So, and we know her character, she did a awful thing where it was so awful that she had to go in hiding and literally recast herself as a whole new person. Yeah. Remember she killed that person in the car, that family, entire family.
Yeah. Yeah. Killed the black guy.
I don't know if I want to see that. Like you said, I don't get. This is not the prequel or the spinoff that you should be working with.
It could be interesting. They're talking about it's a murder mystery and everything. It could be interesting, but they're gonna have to address the fact that this is Jim Crow America with superpowered white people who are gonna lord their powers over, minorities that we know for sure. We saw both in Diabolical and in season 2 and season 3 of The Boys, the way these characters act. Soldier Boy's a piece of shit. He beat Noir so bad because he was like, you're getting uppity. He beat him so bad that he became brain damaged. A soup that got brain damaged. That's something, right? So it's like, I'm not interested in any of this black trauma shit. Like, I'm really not. I'm interested in based on the strength of the fact that the writers of The Boys are really good. But I'm really, I want to know who's in that writer's room. That's first and foremost. I want to know because I need to see people that look like us that are in there to prevent too much of that shit from going overboard. And also to prevent the sanitizing of that time period. Because that time period was not great for black people. So, I don't know. I'm interested. We'll keep an eye on it. And we'll let you guys know what we think about it when we get a little bit more information. So, let's talk about the better superheroes. That's, of course, My Adventure with Superman. Renewed for season 3. We knew, they said that basically immediately after after the finale of season 2, which is awesome. As I said before, and I stand by it, peak Superman. So, fight me. But one of the things they showed I think at Comic-Con, we got some pictures, just like some real, early pictures of Lex Luthor and of Superboy. That's right, Lottie. Superboy is coming to My Adventures with Superman. And not just that, it looks like the 90s Superboy. Remember Death of Superman? And then they had a bunch of different Superman to kind of take his place, and one of them was Superboy. It looks just like that. So anyway, Lottie, you got a chance to look at those pictures, man. I mean, you got to be excited, right? They're bringing Superboy and bald ass, cue ball Lex Luthor into this thing.
Is that so? He's a clone, right? It's just...
I'm trying to remember if that's Connor Kent. I think either he's a clone or something like that. I always forget. There's several Superboys, and they are different in origin. But yeah, probably is a clone.
What I'm still trying to figure out. Why do I see the glare? Why do I see the eye glare of cue ball?
How is the light glinting off of his forehead and his glasses? What's happening? Is that physically possible? I don't feel like that's not real. Like, I feel like y'all playing around with physics just to make him look like the stereotypical anime.
You know who he looks like?
Who is
he
that?
Looks like the father from Evangelion.
Oh yeah.
That's who he looks like. Also, did you see the person in the corner? That's
Mr.
the Monkey King.
Yeah. Is that? I thought that was Mr. Mixopidic. Is that not him? Am I crazy? Or am I looking in the wrong direction? It's hard.
I'm like the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Maybe that is Mr. Pitt.
Are we? Yeah. I wonder if are we getting, because that looks like a caveman guy. So I don't know. It would be cool if we got Gorilla Grodd, and there does look like there could be some kind of Kryptonian looking. That's definitely Cyborg Superman there, by the way, on the left. So Hank, because that is a follow up on. Remember that the fighters were attacking Brainiac, and he blew up the fighters. So that's definitely where that's coming from. So that very interesting. And also Kara obviously is joining the crew because she and Jimmy got a thing going on. Very, very excited. Like I've decided I'm standing this show. Like there's a few things that I stand on our social media. Amon Villani, Miss Marvel, Moon Girl, and Devil Dinosaur. And My Adventures with Superman is officially joining that list. We stand it. We're going to tell everybody and their mama to watch this damn show because it's great. So really looking forward to this. Can't wait to see more. We'll let you guys know more about it when we hear more. So Lottie, let's talk very briefly about box office. The number one movie in the world, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, just killing the game right now. Like you said, before, when we were doing a review of it, almost $500 million. It probably has crossed $500 million at this point. Today, I haven't looked at Box Office Mojo, but definitely killed it. I think it was 212 or something like that $1 million domestic, and just I think it was 212 or something like that domestic, or 211, something like that. It's as of today. It is $545 million and climbing, and it's it's basically not even its second weekend yet. Looking to hit $1 billion, highest R-rated opening of all time. It's I think it's the highest opening of the year for any movie at all, and it's on pace definitely to pass the Joker. So it's on pace to be the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time as well, as long as there's no ridiculous fall off. So also apparently it's triggering a lot of conservatives who, for some fucking reason, haven't seen the other two Deadpools. They're just like, I can't believe this. This is blasphemous. And I'm just like, welcome to the fucking party, man. Like, you're 10 years late. So anyway, it's doing gangbusters. Kevin Feige and them are happy. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman get like the biggest box office of their careers. It's just crazy. Lottie, I mean, you're not surprised, right? There's no way you're surprised about this.
No, this movie. Listen, we knew this movie was going to be $1 billion movie. I'm. Who are the conservatives that are mad about this movie?
Yep, they're on X, so I only see when other people cross post them. It's just dumb people. It's not even really fair to necessarily say conservatives, but it's just dumb people. Like, how do you not know this? It's like people, being upset about, they're like, they're like, oh, there's gay jokes or whatever in this. And it's not a joke. Deadpool is pansexual. He's
always been, even in the comic books.
He's pansexual, and he is most definitely for real about all of this innuendo. He's not just saying it. Yeah, it's funny because he's, as he says, humor is his defense mechanism. And it's funny because the situation, but like, he's really not being mean-spirited or anything like that. But like this idea that this movie is somehow, an affront to whatever, I'm like, where the fuck have y'all been? Because it's been like this from the get. So anyway, it's going hard right now. But yeah, Lottie, I mean, in your mind, what do you think the ceiling for this movie is?
I'll say about 1 point. Well, I think the ceiling is 1.5 billion, but I will not be surprised if they pass it. I know 1.5 billion is a massive number to surpass, but I really if you guys listen to the review, you'll see how much I love this movie. My brothers already went to go watch it twice. I'm thinking about going and watching it again maybe this Sunday. I really enjoyed that movie. All I gotta say is bye to all the haters of this movie.
Then they are very few, by the way. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Marvel's back," and whenever people say that, I'm like, "Bitch, it never went anywhere." Like, I'm serious. The last movie in the MCU made like 800 and what is it? What did it make? $870 million, something, $860 something million. That's not anything to sneeze at. Like it hadn't gone away. There have been many successful movies. Not all of them, but almost all of them have done well. So like, good for you that something connected with you. But like, Marvel's been here, and great, good on all of them over it. Sean Levy getting to direct his first Marvel movie. Of course, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman getting to really make a great kind of send off for the Fox universe. And good for.
By the way,
that
credit scene almost made me tear up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it was really good. So I'm like, it's deserving. Glad to see it. We will keep you guys apprised of the box office until it's kind of gotten to the end of its run. But yeah, 1.5, that actually sounds pretty reasonable. So we'll let you guys know as the box office returns come in. So Lottie, real quick, this is a long show, but we got to do this. Let's talk about trailers. In the last couple of weeks, we've had some major trailers come out, especially because of Comic-Con. So I kind of wanted to talk about each of them in turn. Lottie, let's talk first about Hellboy, the Crooked Man, or as I like to think of it, CW Hellboy, and as an A24 horror film, essentially. And I call it CW because, Lottie, let's be real, this shit look cheap as fuck. This shit look cheap as
Every
hell.
time I look at it, I'm like, I can't wait to watch this TV show. Oh, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
And
Looks like a
that's
Netflix. It looked like a Netflix movie.
and it doesn't, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, why did they make this into a TV show? I mean, a movie. Like, I'm literally saying to myself, this would have did great as a freaking TV show, but my God, it's a movie, and I'm just like,
Okay.
Like, I just doesn't the trailer, like, you could tell which was like when you're watching the trailer, you could be like, oh yeah, that's episode 1 right there. Oh, that's probably episode 3. Like, I'm just saying, I don't know. Just,
they had no money for this. Look, they probably had about, if I had to guess, just looking at it, they had about $50 million to do this. That's just the guess. It could be more, but my guess is around 50, maybe $60 million, which explains, the practical makeup and everything like that. It explains that a lot of the horror effects are basically people doing contortion acts. There's camera tricks here and there. It's lower budget filmmaking. It just is. So, like I said, it does look cheap. That said, as much it sounds like I'm really shitting on this movie, I'm not. I'm interested because it has a bit of atmosphere that makes me interested. Because Hellboy is essentially he's not really scared of anything. He doesn't have a reason to, but the people around him are. And this is the BPRD before the BPRD, so he's got agents with him. They are in mortal danger. There's some supernatural shenanigans going on, and it feels a little bit like they were borrowing a bit from the Blair Witch Project and various other like A24 atmospheric horror movies. My only problem with this is, where's the horror is not super prominent. It feels more like you've dropped an action adventure character into a horror movie and he's just not taking the horror seriously. And if he doesn't take it seriously, it's hard for me to take it seriously. That's all I'm saying. Lottie, do you want to go see this though?
no.
Hey, that's fair. Wait for streaming, right? I don't think this movie's gonna do well, honestly.
It's just, I should have just made it a TV show.
Straight to Amazon Prime, basically.
It should have just made it I feel like this would have did well as a TV show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get. Maybe, like you said, maybe this does well enough that they turn a slight profit. Because, like you said, if the movie's like a $50 million budget and they get $150 million in the box office, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's slightly profitable. It was worth the endeavor. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll let you guys know when it comes out. Now on to things that don't look cheap as hell. So this came out last week, and I did a trailer reaction. A lot of people did trailer reactions for this, and but Lottie, I hadn't heard your thoughts about it. So what did you think about the Captain America: Brave New World trailer?
So here's my thing with the movie. I'm trying to understand, and this is not like a bad thing about the movie. It's like I'm trying to figure out what is going on in this movie for, like, according to the Marvel storyline, because we know what is the guy's name again? The president. The guy who's playing as the president.
Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah.
Thunderbolt Ross, who literally was the warden as the most dangerous prison on the planet, pretty much is the president. And I'm just like, all right, this guy's pretty much if what's the woman's name? I was gonna say Viola Davis.
Viola Davis, yeah, Amanda Waller.
If Amanda Waller became president, how like you will have to be like Superman to get to her or get to this guy. So who is this person attacking them? And then what is the New World Order? And some people are saying, "Oh, this is how they introduce Doctor Doom." Please, God, no, don't do that.
I'd say no to
Don't
that.
don't do that.
I think.
So
Well, I will tell you. I'll fill you in. This is. We're going to talk about this more later too. That this is in part the Serpent Society, and this also, if you noticed at the end of the trailer, they are flying around a big island. That's Tiamat Island. So this movie is dealing with the fallout of Eternals. That they're referring to it. It's actually happening. It's dealing with the fallout of Eternals. And of course, we saw Red Hulk. So Red Hulk shows up in this too, and it appears that Isaiah Bradley is some kind of sleeper agent or something like that, and attempts to kill Ross, as the president. And of course, Sam and Joaquin Torres, who's the new Falcon, are running around trying to deal with that. So there's a push and pull between should Captain America be an official title or official position in the U.S. government or not. I thought it was a very good trailer. It's very interesting, and it's a teaser, so it's kind of putting out that this is happening and letting people just kind of speculate what's actually going on here. How did you feel about that Red Hulk reveal?
I mean, how could I say? I mean, me personally, because I know who he is, it's not surprising. I'm just so. What do you think made him want to become Red Hulk? Like, because
Almost getting killed
he
by a
grabbed
super
the shield
soldier.
and then threw it down.
Almost getting killed by a super soldier. That'll do it. A super soldier being 5 feet away from you and damn near getting you. I mean, you're like, you know what? Why shouldn't I be a superhero? And plus, I'm the president. I can do what I want.
President Smash.
In the comics, there's a little bit more of a personal reason, but there's not so much in here. But we do know, of course, that his daughter does show up in this movie. So we'll see. We'll see what that all means and how it plays out. Moving on to the next trailer, Joker Folie à Dieux, aka Joker 2, had an official trailer drop. So we saw the teaser trailer a while ago. This is the first official one where we get more of what the story is about. So Lottie, how did you feel about this trailer?
I just want to say the motherfucker who said this movie was going to be a musical needs to be slapped in the face.
There's going to be musical stuff, definitely.
There's going to be music in it, but they're making it seem like the way they were talking about it being a musical, they made it seem like it was going to be like a Disney movie where they sing every 5 minutes or something like that.
I would love if that were true.
I don't get that feeling.
I would love if that were. I would love if that's true. Just because it would.
I don't feel like that's gonna happen.
It would make so many people mad. It would make so many people mad, and I would love it so much. I don't think they have it in them to troll people that hard. I found it very interesting. The thing was, I wasn't thrilled by the trailer, but I did find a lot of it very interesting. I think in part because I don't know what I'm expecting from this movie. And so this trailer is it's telling me about, there's going to be a trial of the century where they, put Arthur Fleck on trial for what he did. And he is actually defending himself. For some reason, they let him put clown makeup on. What the fuck is going on in Gotham City, right? And then there's copycats and everything, very much like in Watchmen. There are copycat Rorschachs and all that stuff. And then there's this romance with Harley Quinn. And is she free? Is she not free? They're blowing stuff up. It's very... There's a lot going on in this, but I don't really quite know, what the story is besides the trial of the century. So I need a little bit more. This is one of those cases where we need another trailer, I think. What do you say?
I feel like the trailer probably didn't impact you as much because where you watched it, in front of a. I saw it in theater, and it was like, the boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? It hit me a little bit different. The leg kick, the iconic leg kick up.
Right.
You know, I'm interested. I'm really interested in seeing this. I was talking to my brother when we were seeing the trailer. I really wish that this was in the same universe as the Batman because it just feels like it should be.
Right.
Doesn't it feel like this should be it? I feel like this would have been so much better of a trailer and much better of a movie series if it was in the universe of the Batman because it will make sense because you know what was happening in the Batman. You know, the whole thing about are we truly heroes? Am I really making a difference?
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing with what was the guy's name?
The Riddler.
The Riddler. Showing that there's a lot of corruption. I really was like, damn, I wish that this was in the universe of the Batman.
Right.
But I maybe my headcanon will just make it that it is. So that's probably why I just enjoyed it a lot more.
Right. Yeah, I'm still interested. I'm just it's a bit muted right now. I need to see a little bit more, I think. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Batman, we got a trailer, a new official trailer for the Penguin. It showed a lot more about what's going on, what Oswald Cobblepot is up to, and more importantly, showed Sophia Falcone and where she's coming from. And in my opinion, really kind of put her on the radar of actually she's dangerous as fuck and she's going to be a real big problem for the Penguin. Mm-hmm. She spent time in Arkham. Mind you, Joker spent time in Arkham too. So she's been to Arkham when Joker was at Arkham. And now she's out and she's ready to take the reins of the Falcone crime family. So I thought it was a great trailer. Really kind of showed. Somebody said Sopranos-ish, and I'm like, that's fair, but it's organized crime. But it's really kind of seeing. I think like Sophia Falcone to me represents the blurring line between organized crime and this new, eccentric Arkham Asylum style villain. Like she's mm-hmm. in the middle ground between them two, as far as I can see. Lottie, what did you think about what you saw?
This is another reason why I love the Batman as a movie, because Gotham is a character in that universe, and they're building up the character of Gotham. Not everything has to be in a giant, in a Batmobile chasing the Penguin down the highway, causing massive explosions and everything. There's a whole underbelly of the crime that in Gotham that Batman has to deal with, but also other villains have to deal with as well. Other people have to deal with, because like you said, the Penguin in this universe is just, he's right now just a regular old, thug that is trying to become the next big man. But then Falcone's daughter is coming in here, and she's a psychopath, clearly. And who would you rather have running Gotham?
Right.
Her?
Right.
Or the Penguin?
Yeah,
so it's a whole thing.
Yeah, she definitely looks like just that little bit of showing her that she was in Arkham. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh, you got to start playing by different rules, Oswald, because this woman is not going to be playing the way you expect. Like I could just see
that
it.
Little scene when he saw her, you could tell he was terrified. He was like, "This bitch crazy."
It was very good. Like they really have kind of got me amped up for this show. I'm really looking forward to it. So we got the final trailer here. and that was for the teaser trailer for Creature Commandos, which is coming out in December. The animated show. Lottie, this is the James Gunniest of James Gunn things. Like
Yes.
it down. Like I will even say, down to the way it's animated and some of the cuts and some of the transitions. I felt like if it were a live action thing, it would have, it felt a little bit like Suicide Squad, which is not an accident, because as Amanda Waller says, they're Task Force M for monsters, right? So this is a Suicide Squad with monsters. I really, really fucking enjoyed this teaser trailer, especially knowing that everyone who's voicing their characters could potentially be in live action, and I really feel like the voice acting we've heard so far was really good, and they clearly have spent a decent amount of money on the animation. The animation is quite good, especially considering we've seen X-Men 97, which is it's a different style, so I'm not going to try to compare them, but like it felt like they spent some real good money on the animation as opposed to like not the boys, as opposed to Invincible. So I'm overall really excited. Can't wait to see an actual trailer. What do you think?
Definitely gives me that 90s look to it, which I love. The touch of them all wearing Crocs, fuck Crocs, by the way. They're all wearing Crocs is very touching. Amanda Waller, just the woman Amanda Waller, if Amanda Waller was a real person, boy, she's been carrying DC projects like they ain't no man's business, man. I've seen her in so many damn DC projects lately.
She's the Nick Fury. She is the Nick Fury. She's the Wong. She's the Wongers. She is the, what do they call it? She is the not the Nexus. Is it Nexus being, what was it from Deadpool? It's like if she dies, the whole universe dies.
Yes. And I'm enjoying it. It looks really, really good. I want to see this, man. The animation looks good. It looks hilarious because you already know. But then we also got to remember who's making this.
Yeah, are you ready?
So
you ready?
We
for
all
it?
know we're gonna have to go through the House of Pain at least one episode.
You're gonna make us cry for a Weasel. How are you doing this? How are we gonna cry for a Weasel? It's crazy. It looks really good though. I'm really excited about it. So those are all of our trailers, which leads us. I know this is a long episode, but we're gonna get to it. The San Diego Comic-Con news roundup, which really is the Marvel Hall H roundup. Let's just be serious. All the other stuff we sort of talked about, but this is the real deal. What everyone was looking for. Marvel returns to San Diego Comic-Con after skipping last year. They had some real stuff to talk about. And hey, we're in a rebuilding year. Let's call it what it is. It's they won the championship. They've been rebuilding. They've had a few good seasons, but haven't won the championship in 5 or 6 years. And so now they are revealing their starting lineup for what they consider to be their championship run up to the next Avengers. And I have to say, this not a shabby start. In fact, quite exciting. Some things we already know, some things we knew about but hadn't seen, and then some big ass surprises. So let's run them down, Lottie. It's Captain America 4. We were just talking about the trailer. They showed some footage. They brought the various people up onto the stage, particularly Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford. He who hilariously did a hulking out sequence or whatever, or acting on the stage, just kind of hamming it up for people. But we did get some confirmation of some certain aspects of the movie. Giancarlo Esposito came out on stage, Lottie, and revealed who he is playing, and it's literally someone I would never have guessed. But surprise, surprise, he's playing a villain, as if that trailer didn't let you know that.
Oh yeah,
he's playing Sidewinder, King of the Serpent Society. So he is leader of the bad guys. Not happy. I'm gonna be honest. Not happy about that. I love Giancarlo Esposito. I'm sick of this typecasting him as a bad guy. The man can do so much more. Would you please, for the love of God, give this man a role? What that's going to be around a while. But he teased that he would show up in a TV show, so maybe there's more to it than just that. Lottie also, they show apparently in the footage that Ross will turn into the Red Hulk in front of the White House while giving a speech. Why? Who knows? He's, I guess he doesn't want to be the only, he wants to be the other president that's like has a really funny, reddish orange glow. I don't know. And then here's the, yes, I did a Trump shot. And then this last bit, Tiamat Island is featured, and it is going to be the source of adamantium in the Marvel universe. That is how they are going, because apparently Celestials are made of adamantium. And it's all about everyone fighting for this giant resource that's going to change it's going to change the world the way vibranium did. So those are the things that have been confirmed. Lottie, there, you were wondering what it's all about? There you go. What do you think?
I mean, finally, for the first time ever, that Marvel is realizing that place exists. This giant robotic face and bodies just chilling out in the middle of the ocean. Let's pretend like it doesn't exist. Oh, let's make adamantium. Oh, okay, makes sense. Now the Wakandans can be left alone.
That sounds good. They'll never, as long as there are Africans that have any resources that Europe wants, they'll never leave them alone. Yes, I'm in shade mode today, y'all. Yeah, so adamantium, they're going to be fighting over that. We don't know what the Serpent Society is up to. No good, I'm assuming. And Ross, remember Ross and I believe it's going to be he and Sam are actually going to fight each other. So because that's what heroes do. It is what it is. So that sounds very interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. Because it is coming up in February. And also, Lottie, you noticed that they're releasing it in February? I wonder why.
Oh, yeah. We all know.
Well, we got to get out there and support Black Falcon. So so the next thing they talked about was Thunderbolts, brought out the cast. By the way, David Harbour came out in costume and used his really bad Russian accent, but it was really cool. Love David Harbour, by the way. And so I only had a couple things down there. They didn't really confirm too much about it, except, that Louis Pullman said that his character he played a character named Bob. And then there's a rumor that Geraldine, I'm going to say this name wrong, but Geraldine Viswanathan, who is going to be potentially be playing the character Songbird from the Thunderbolts in the comics, who has like basically sonic powers and can kind of fly and everything. But Lottie, you know who Bob is, right? We got to know who Bob is. I don't understand this whole Andrew Garfield shit that Louis Pullman is doing. Why is he doing this? Like, there's only one person you could be if you're named Bob. There ain't no. Can you name one other, Marvel Comics character named Bob? Just tell me one of them. I don't know him.
I don't know.
Why is he like this?
I don't know why. Maybe it's in their contracts. I don't know, but
I mean, he's not lying. He's not lying, but like for real, come on. It's motherfucking Century. Come on, you can say it. It's cool. You can just say it, man.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Who is Sentry?
What's a Sentry? Is that like the security, that a home security company? I don't know about it. Also, they still have not revealed what the asterisk is. Speculation is, and I think it's reasonable, that it could be either like Dark Avengers or something like that. Something to that effect. But it was actually pretty cool because they had, like I said, the cast up there. And we are getting, Ghost is coming back. I remember we speculated that she might not be coming back, but she definitely is coming back. So it should be very interesting. We're gonna keep an eye on that. Hopefully, we'll get some kind of real footage or trailer sometime in the next few months, because it is coming out next summer. And also, Lottie, it's time to talk about the big guns. Fantastic Four, the cast of that came out on the stage. And by the way, they started filming on yesterday, so they're I think they're in England or something like that. But they are shooting the whole thing now, and I don't know if you got to see it, but they're building some pretty damn elaborate sets for this movie. Like they built like a big old street thing with like a Baxter building and all that. The kind of the facade and everything. It's really cool, and it's more like it's less Stark Towers and more, what's 60s retro futurism, kind of like Tomorrowland or something like that. They have a rocket ship launch pad like right in front of the building. It's really like it's old school 60s vibe. But they had them all out there. They showed a little bit of like early footage. They revealed the new name, which is Fantastic Four First Steps. More or less confirmed that it is in an alternate universe because the world that they are from is different from the MCU world. They showed footage where Galactus was like peeking into like the Baxter building. So like a lot of stuff kind of came out there, Lottie. How do you feel about these revelations? Are is that making you more excited, especially now that they are really like for real are producing the movie?
It's about time. It's about time that they decide to finally make you know, they use the IP that they should have been using a long time ago. But hey, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. How can I say? It's like I'm ready to. I'm ready to see a new I'm ready to see the Fantastic Four to see how they're gonna handle it. Like I said, I'm happy that they're finally using that IP because like I said, that's an IP that we haven't seen in a long time. So it's cool that they're going with the retro futurism type thing. Not everything has to look, super futuristic like Iron Man type stuff. Hint, hint. But uh Galactus being confirmed, thank God. So yeah. And they've already begun shooting, which is really cool.
And he looks like Galactus, isn't he? He's not a cloud or any bullshit like that. It's a big old dude peeking into the Baxter building like, what's up? So that's really, really freaking cool. I saw a little bit like they leaked some of the footage, people leaked it onto the internet. And so you can find it if you want to check it out. It's pretty cool looking. And also they showed like test footage of all of them in their costumes and everything like that. And it's weird seeing Reed Richards with a mustache, I'll have to say. But Pedro Pascal does look quite good as Reed Richards. Everybody else pretty much looks like they're supposed to. And also they showed some kind of, still footage, stills of the footage. One of them is, you see Ben kind of on the dating game from back in the 60s or whatever. He's on there as one of the contestants. So this very much is taking place in a different world with a different past or different timeline or whatever that doesn't look like our world. So very, very cool. And Feige is very high on it, very, very bullish on it. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. So, Lottie, it's time to talk Avengers. First of all, it may not sound crazy, but there ain't no lie. Kang, bye. That's pretty much what they're saying right here. He was a no-show in Deadpool, which surprised, despite the multiverse. But he's going to be a no-show in the MCU in general because, and we should have known this. They basically, I contend that they reroute the end of Loki season 2 to basically say, "Oh, Kang ain't a problem anymore." I'm convinced.
Yeah,
I'm convinced
he got one shot at off camera. Like I'm like honestly shocked. People are shocked that he's like I've been seeing a lot of people are like, wait, Kang's gone, like. And and what's so crazy is these are the same people that watch Loki. They literally just said he got one shot off camera.
I mean, they basically like, oh, there's a Kang. You know, we're keeping an eye on Kang variants, but we'll take care of them. So, yeah, Kang's a nothing. He's gone now, and so, you know, that leads to the question: well, if there's no Kang Dynasty, what's Avengers 5 about to be about? Well, first of all, it's going to be directed as we saw in rumors over the previous weeks. The Russo brothers are coming back to direct, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the writers of Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, Stephen McFeely, is returning to write the next Avengers and possibly Avengers 6, so Avengers 5 and 6. So Avengers 5 now, rather than Kang Dynasty, is now called Avengers Doomsday, which of course means that Doctor Doom is the bad guy. And so now, all right, we got Doom. Then who's going to play Doom? Which led to, let's be honest, one of the greatest and most theatrical Hall H reveals of all time. You have to admit, no matter how you feel about this choice, this casting choice, you have to admit it was a pretty fucking good reveal. And that, of course, is all of these, people dressed as Doom. And then one of them comes out and pulls his mask off, and it is Robert Downey Jr. And the fucking hall erupts. Now, here's the deal. I was like, holy shit. But I wasn't like, holy shit. Because you and I we talked about this. Did we not? We talked about this 3 or 4 weeks ago, that there was a rumor that Robert Downey Jr. was being considered to be Doctor Doom. So those of us who are plugged in, it's a shock, but we were like, these motherfuckers really did this shit. And so I do want to talk about the reaction to that, but before we talk about the reaction to that casting, I want to talk about the reaction or your reaction to Doomsday being the new movie, but also bringing back the Russo brothers, bringing back the writer. And what does this say about Marvel and the direction that they are taking with their movies and their output? What does it mean about the future output that they're planning to do? What do you think?
Okay, one, the Russo brothers should have never left in the first place. That's something that should have never happened in the first place. Two, Robert Downey. The whole thing of Doomsday being the movie. I mean, like I said, I have no problem with Doctor Doom being the villain. It's just I don't know how I feel about Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom. Just being 100% honest about it.
Well, and I do want to dive into that. I really want to kind of comment on this move of bringing back the old team, basically, and what it means about Marvel and what they're doing right now. Like, because there was a lot, like, amidst all of the reaction to RDJ was lost, I think, some conversation that needed to be had about what can be considered the safest fucking choice possible creatively to bring those guys back. And is Marvel trigger shy right now? Are they afraid to do anything too out of the box? Is the kind of the years of experimentation and expansion, are they now turning back to let's recycle the oldies, let's do the things we did before? I'm concerned that's what's going on here, that these guys made billions for us before. They can do it again. And people like to complain about movies being made by committee. I guarantee you that this movie, the next two Avengers movies, are made by committee. Because the next two Avengers movies are going to cost at the least, $250 million each. Could be 300. Do you remember an Endgame cost 300 mil? So you're talking about $500 million off rip before any of those movies are before marketing, before any of that. Those two movies are going to cost $500 million to make, which means, remember my 3 times the cost. They need to make collectively, just to make their money back, between the two, need to make at least $1.5 billion box office. So with that in mind, fuck yeah, you bring back the two dudes who got you, $2 billion plus movie. Two back-to-back $2 billion movies. Hell yeah, you bring them back. Why the fuck wouldn't you? I don't know that I like it though. I mean, I like them. I trust them. I think they're going to do well, but I don't like the idea that we're going to play it so fucking safe that we can't even bring in a different person to direct this movie. Or worse than that, they approached other people to do it, and they were like, fuck no, you guys are going to be on our ass for 5-6 straight years trying to fucking micromanage us into making the movie you want instead of letting us make the movie we intend to make. I think that's what's going on. I don't know. What do you think, Lottie?
I mean, this is something I talked about probably all the way back in 2022. And I remember you told me that you don't think it will happen. Remember I told you that Marvel's just going to hit the big reset button?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely Secret War is going to be the soft reboot, but creatively,
they're just going to bring people back.
Yeah, it just seems so creatively lame, and I'm saying, mind you, I'm saying this as someone who agrees that the Russos are a good choice for this situation. And I agree that Stephen McFeely is a good writer and has made good stories before. I'm not saying they're not. And I'm not even saying I'm not interested in seeing this movie or even excited for it. I am. I'm not excited for what this means for Marvel Studios going forward. I'm afraid this is them drawing back from being a lot more bold and taking risks. And I understand for the Avengers movies, taking risks is a bit hard because of how expensive they are, but I'm talking about in general. Just the risk taking seems to be kind of off the table. That's just my impression. So there's that. There, we're bringing the old team back. But then this whole RDJ thing throws even more of that in there. I think that they thought this was going to be universally acclaimed. Like for real, I really think they were like, man, everybody on the internet is just like, we missed the old Marvel, and all of our old fans kind of checked out because they thought everything was over, and all. Let's bring back RDJ. Everyone loves him. He's the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and people will just be on board, and it'll be great. I think they really thought that, and yet, Lottie, and I'm sure you saw it, there has been a lot of like, what the fuck is this? How is this possible? Why didn't you cast a new person? You're shitting on Kang, you're shitting on Doom, there's a lot of that. And then there's a lot of people just like, this Marvel is saved. This is the best thing possible. Like, Marvel's back, baby. There's a lot of that going on too. But it's not universally praised. And even I accept that this is, and I think it's interesting and everything like that. And I would have liked to have seen a different Doom. Like, I want to see an actual Victor Von Doom, not a Tony Stark variant, which this seems to be.
Exactly. Exactly. And that is the biggest elephant in the room. You thought that we rather see a evil Tony Stark than an actual big budgeted Victor Von Doom. That is where, even with the bringing back of the Russo brothers, I'm not very confident in the future of Marvel when it comes to this stuff. Because it's like you just said, they just thought Robert Downey Jr. being back. And the rumor is how much money they had to bring, how much money they paid to bring him back. I would be, if I was him, I'll come back too. Shit. But the rumor is they paid him $80 million to come back. I'll come back too. Shit.
Hell yeah.
But I don't know, man.
It'd be, it'd be real
in my
fucked
opinion,
up.
it's all just a bad idea because if they make Robert Downey Jr. Victor Von Doom, that's bad because the audience is not stupid. We associate his face with Iron Man. So the best thing they can do is in the universe of the Fantastic Four is that this is like Tony Stark that became Doom instead of Iron Man. He became Doom, and it's just,
And, well, the other thing is like Doom has a mask on all the time, so you're gonna pay Robert Downey Jr. $80 million to be in a fucking mask, basically to not be on set. Is that a thing? I'm trying to like. I'm not against this. There's precedent for this in the comics. I'm not against it. I just want to see what they're going to do. But if you are a normal...
I really think they're just going to have it that it's that Doom that's Iron Man. That's just...
Yeah.
It's going to be a suit that he can take off like how Iron Man does. He'll be Robert Downey... I mean, he'll be... what's it called? Tony Stark. But instead of being Tony Stark, the philanthropist playboy, he is the megalomaniac dictator that becomes a multiverse villain.
Yeah, and he must
all of this.
I'm saying he has to for Secret War. Secret War is literally about Doom sort of, destroying the multiverse and kind of using a couple different people's power to remake one giant world that puts all of these these
and
multiverses
I know what comic
together.
Book they're using.
Yeah, it's
remember they're using that comic book where Doom was basically helping taking over, like was going around basically almost taking over the multiverse, and like Wolverine and Spider-Man were the one stopping him and everything, and somehow Wolverine got the Phoenix Force. I don't know how, but he did.
It's well, that part, the sixth Avengers 6 is going to be based on the 2015 Secret War comic crossover, and it's a big multiversal thing. Doom is very important in it, and I get them putting him into it. But a very good question, and a question that has not been answered and won't be answered, I think, is what the fuck is wrong with just casting another actor? And the answer, of course, is this is a cynical marketing move. And like, for real, if you want to make Doom important, just make him a Tony Stark variant and put RDJ in there and their butts and seats, right? That's the move. This is like, and to me, for better or for worse, this is a sure sign of executive influence or interference. This is a real, glaring, sign that somebody high up is like, hey, we need to start making some moves to get people back in here, and why don't we just go back to this, right? And there's precedence in the comic that there's no reason that it should be this way. Why they shouldn't have regular old Victor Von Doom. He doesn't have to be in the mainline MCU. He doesn't have to be. He can very much be in an alternate universe. but it didn't have to be Robert Downey Jr. So it feels like a cynical play. It feels like a desperate play. And is that fair to say too? It feels desperate. And, you know, to want to reach for that again. And it feels like they want to have Doom without having to earn, you know, him as a character, I guess, that if that's a thing to do. So I don't know. I know it sounds like I'm really down on it. I'm not. Like, I'm making a note of all of these little aspects of it. And I'm still excited for the Avengers. I want to see what they're going to do with it. But let's not kid ourselves that there aren't these other little things going on underneath that led to this decision. And that could have very easily been anybody else. But if it had been anybody else besides Robert Downey Jr., would we be talking about this right now? We'd be talking about like, hey, Doom is in it. We wouldn't be talking about this, you know, like we are now. I mean, I don't know, Lottie. I don't feel like I'm off base there.
No, you're not.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think I would just like people to just like discuss this and have some kind of sense about it, though. You know, I wish we were Marvel shills and we would get paid for it, but nobody pays us a fuck thing. We're up or down on these things according to how they make us feel. And I hope everyone else recognizes that that's true about, you know, most other people. You know, there are some bad faith actors out there, sure. But, you know, not everybody is hyped about this, and there are good reasons for it. And not everybody is down on it either. Some people are really happy about it, and there are good reasons for that too. So let's just have good conversations about it and not try to act stupid about it. None of y'all are getting paid about this unless you're a toxic fan that has a YouTube page with googly eyes on your thumbnails. So either way, that's a lot of stuff, Lottie. We covered a lot of ground today. I'm sure we missed some shit. I mean, why wouldn't we? There's so much going on in the world of comic book movies and TV shows and video games. So if we did miss something, or, you know, you wanted to chime in about the things we talked about, share your opinion, whatever the case may be, you know what to do. Get down there to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blurred_force1 on Instagram and on Threads, and it's super_not_funny show on TikTok. And while you're doing that, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other content that we make. And of course, I can't do this by myself. This is too much to cover, man. I can't do this by myself. I need my good friend Lottie to lend all of his insight and opinion. So Lottie, where can they reach you on social media?
You can always find me on my Instagram and YouTube channel, which is Anukinihun. Again, it's Anukinihun. ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. Yep.
And you guys go and check out his page. He does live streams sometimes. He definitely shows himself playing video games. What was I forget what was the name of that one? Chained Together or something like that. Those are funny. Those are funny videos. You guys go check those things out. Show Lottie some love. And thanks for joining us. This is episode 157 of the Supercast, a supersized edition. We will be back to a normal one next week. But, you know, there's plenty going on in the world of superhero things. We will continue to talk about those things. So until then, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.